Apple TV recently released Dark Matter, another sci-fi drama with a stellar cast. After watching Constellation on the platform, which has a quite similar subject matter for those who don't know, I was waiting to give Dark Matter a chance, and the first 2 episodes did not disappoint. Even though the official trailer for the show spoiled the entire plot of episodes 1 and 2, I still enjoyed our introduction to Dark Matter and what has been going on in the show so far. Let's talk about the episodes and analyze what's been happening. Are there 2 different realities? How were these realities created? How did one Jason travel to the other reality? Why did Dawn kill Daniela in one of the realities? And how will all this be resolved? Throughout the video, I'm going to be numbering the characters since there seem to be 2 universes and 2 different versions of the same person. Jason is the man we have been mostly following. He lives in Universe 1, let's say. He's a college professor living a boring but happy life with his wife Daniela and their teenage son Charlie. Jason number 2 is the man with the mask who came from Universe 2 and switched places with the regular Jason. Now, how did this all happen? 15 or 16 years ago, Jason and Daniela were dating. Jason had just done his PhD and was on the way to become a successful scientist. Daniela was a painter who was also pretty good at what she was doing. But when Daniela ended up pregnant, Jason was given 2 choices, right? He was either going to want to keep the baby and get married to the woman he loved, or he was going to choose his career because he wanted to focus more on his research. Now, it looks like these 2 choices created 2 alternative possibilities, what we would call alternate realities. In one reality, Jason did choose to keep the baby and get married to Daniela. This eventually led him to have hardships in life and lose the funding he had gotten for his research. He had to become a college professor to make ends meet, etc. Daniela also had to quit painting. In the end, they looked happy because Jason would rather have memories of Daniela over a cold, sterile lab. I should also note that in this universe, Ryan ended up being the successful researcher with the company. In the other reality, Jason said he didn't want to have a baby at that point in his life and that he wanted to focus on his research. Daniela did not wish to raise a child on her own, so she had an abortion. Jason continued working on his research and got the Pavia Prize that would end up making him a great scientist, someone that everyone knows and recognizes. Daniela continued on her own and became successful in her career. Ryan, on the other hand, ended up leading a less successful life and seemed actually depressed compared to his counterpart in the other reality. At this point in the story, it looks like the choice of whether to have a baby or not created these 2 alternate realities, the one where the baby would live and the other where the baby would not exist, which is quite an interesting concept. But it's not clear whether this creation of alternate realities happens after other major life decisions as well.
You and I live in a brownstone in Logan Square. We have a 15-year-old son named Charlie.
All right, man, that's not funny. Why would you even bring that up?
Is it something that only happens after a pregnancy occurs, or could there be other pathways for this to happen? It's a bit early in the story to fully grasp this, but Apple TV's official poster for Dark Matter shows tens of the same version of Jason, which hints at more than a few realities. According to Daniela number 2, Jason number 2 told her this before he used the box.
You said our choices create worlds. And so, theoretically, we simultaneously inhabited an infinite number of them.
Which also points out more than 2 realities, but I have to watch at least 1 or 2 more episodes to have more theories about what's actually going on. So in Universe 2, Jason number 2 created a big box that allows him to travel through multiple realities. His partner Leighton and the lab psychiatrist Amanda are also aware of this research. Jason number 2 probably volunteered to be the first person to use the big box to travel. He got in it but was missing in his own reality because during that time, he came into Jason's reality to observe him. Maybe while he was observing Jason, he saw what kind of a life he had with Daniela, saw how happy they were with Charlie, and decided to switch places. Since he was missing for over a year, he was observing Jason and the family's schedules, following them with his car, taking note of everything, and planning the switch in his storeroom. The box that he created, much like the box Schrodinger's cat was in, allowed him to be in superposition. He was able to exist in the same reality as the other Jason. although the details as to how this box works are not clear yet. In Constellation, the story did not really focus on how the switch between two realities actually happened. The story was more about the family drama and the new dynamics the switched characters had to go through. I hope Dark Matter does not do this and actually gives us an insight into how everything works. Overall, the story seems to be inspired by wanting to explore the road not taken, as Daniela's art show was also about that. Earlier in the video, I said maybe after observing the other possibility, Jason number 2 wanted to switch places, but looking at what Daniela said about Jason telling her the worst choice he made was the one he made with her.
You told me that in this world, the worst choice you'd made was the one you made with me.
Jason number 2 most likely wanted to find out about what could have been if he had chosen to marry Daniela, which means he was planning this for a long time, even before he traveled to the other reality. One thing I don't understand is why they killed Daniela in the second universe. Did they fear Jason was telling her the secrets of their experiment with the big box? This is probably the case, but I definitely did not expect that to happen. Did Jason number 2 know that his company had become too dangerous and that things would end badly there? Is that another reason why he switched places? Layton seems to be a dangerous man. I'm sure the story will explore this more. Right now, it's still early in the story to have theories about what will happen, but if you have any, please let me know in the comments. If you guys are interested, I'll do videos on the other episodes as well. See you soon then.